Obsession was widely reported to cost about $750,000 to make. By August 2026, its worldwide box office had reached about $495.7 million. The scale was tiny. Barker said the film was shot in Los Angeles over just 20 days, and reports from AP and The New Yorker put the production around $750,000. The first big jump came at Toronto. After the premiere triggered a bidding war, Focus Features acquired the film for $15 million, many times its reported production cost. Then the audience growth did something rare. Its domestic opening was about $17.2 million, but the second weekend rose to roughly $24 million, and the third climbed again to about $27.4 million. By June, AP was already calling Obsession the biggest hit in Focus Features' 24-year history. Its later worldwide gross of about $495.7 million made the original production scale look almost absurdly small. One of the ideas behind Obsession came from an unlikely place: a Simpsons Halloween story built around the old monkey's paw idea of wishes going wrong. Barker already wanted to explore a relationship where one person was far more obsessed than the other. What he had not solved was the mechanism that would make that imbalance explode. His answer came after researching familiar wish devices like wishing wells and shooting stars. He rejected them and chose something simpler: a novelty object you could just buy in a store. That became the One Wish Willow. Barker wanted it to look almost trite rather than ancient or mysterious, which makes the supernatural premise feel weirdly commercial and ordinary. Barker also changed the moral logic of the usual monkey's paw story. He sees the willow itself as neutral. The real problem, he said, is the person using it and the wish he chooses to make. Obsession cast its two romantic leads even though director Curry Barker thought they had no chemistry together. He said that was perfect for the story. That only makes sense because Bear wants Nikki while Nikki initially treats him like a friend. The relationship is supposed to feel uneven before anything supernatural happens. So the missing chemistry became useful. Barker said Inda Navarrete brought a bro-like sassiness to Nikki that naturally pushed Bear into the friend zone instead of creating a conventional romantic spark. Michael Johnston supplied the other half. Barker said Johnston had the mix of awkwardness and darkness that made him immediately feel right for Bear. The irony is that a quality filmmakers often try to fix became part of the solution. For this story, believable emotional mismatch mattered more than conventional romantic chemistry. The cinematographer behind Obsession had never shot a horror movie before. When Curry Barker first asked Taylor Clemens about Ari Aster, Clemens said he was not familiar with his work. The connection was unusual from the start. Producer Haley Johnson found Clemens online while he was living on a sailboat, even though they had never met and had no mutual connections. Barker's solution was a crash course. He brought Clemens to Los Angeles to watch Hereditary, then they studied Ari Aster's films and talked through why that style of horror felt powerful. Clemens then pushed the photography far darker than his comfort zone, using static cameras and large areas of empty darkness so viewers would search the frame and imagine what they could not see. They also used silhouettes and long continuous takes to hide intention instead of showing everything. Clemens later called working this way one of his biggest breakthroughs as a storyteller. The fake customer service hotline from Obsession became a real promotional phone number. Focus Features' official One Wish Willow site still lists a number for people to call. Inside the movie, the hotline belongs to the strange novelty product at the center of the story. Giving it customer support makes the supernatural object feel less ancient and more like a cheap consumer product. The reason the number works is that Focus turned the joke into real marketing. Barker said the studio paid for the number, then brought him into a studio to record lines for the hotline. There is another hidden connection. Barker also revealed that he is the phone voice in the movie itself. The director had quietly been playing the customer service guy all along. Focus pushed the fictional product beyond the phone line too, launching an official One Wish Willow website and a real promotional sweepstakes. A tiny prop detail became an entire piece of the campaign. Obsession's costume designer had only $6,000 for the entire wardrobe, yet one purple floral dress needed 12 identical copies. The script had one unusually specific costume note. Sarah wears a purple flower dress earlier and Nikki wears that same look later. Designer Blair James was determined to preserve it. The problem was practical continuity. The dress appears through demanding scenes and had to work on two different performers, so one copy was never enough. James said the production needed 12. When James finally found the right dress, it was too expensive. Because she knew the retailer's sales cycle, she waited until dresses were 30% off and then bought all 12 immediately. And the tiny budget still carried character storytelling. James shifted Nikki's post-wish wardrobe toward what Bear would want and even used small details that echo Sarah's clothes.